Hello, hello, hello. It is Friday. I am Kevin. We are Dirty 20 Gaming, and it is Friday. I had to say that twice because it's Friday. That's three times. Now it's magical. That made it real. It is Friday. That means it is time for our fun shots. We missed one of these last week, and I missed it bad. So we're going to have to pack two of them into one episode tonight. I'm telling you them that. I just told them that now. So crank it up. Get your coffee going. Tonight, we are playing a game that I must like because this is the fourth time we've played it now. This is System Shutdown by Grant Howitt, a prolific, talented, skilled, and magnificent human being who makes one-shot RPGs and other stuff. And he also does serious stuff too. And one of these years, I'm going to get around to them. But until then, on Fridays, we're going to get silly with his other stuff. So that's a big thank you to Grant. Image-wise, pictures in the background here from Pixabay and elsewheres. So thank you for them for that. The next thing is the people. The next thing is the fun part. These three crazy people that have agreed to join me tonight on what is basically a death run. Some of you might have figured out that from the title, but we'll get to that in a second. But our cyberpunkians tonight, actually, let's do something a little bit different. I'll introduce you, and then you introduce your character briefly before we start. So, Bison, you've been with us a bazillion times before. There's a hint in the background, hanging in there with his electronic screwdriver, dare I say, in his hand. Who are you playing for us tonight?
I am playing One Ball. He is a very, very lost robot with a large pool ball for a head and a large number one right in the middle.
Excellent. And yes, very lost. Very, very lost in downtown West Coast metropolis to remain unnamed for legal purposes. Thank you for that.
Citytopia.
Yes, Citytopia. I like that. Also with us tonight, and you, just to put a bow on that, you have been in two of the three of these before this, right?
Yeah.
As various different characters? All right, excellent. In one of these before and making a reprise visit because they didn't win last time and get everything like somebody did and got to retire. Brick played for us by Nick. Nick the Brick or Brick the Nick. Tell us who Brick is.
He is definitely retired after his assassination career went a little bit south. He tried to get back with his employer. Actually went deaf in the meantime, nearly died of stress. So he tried to retire into a city. However, trying to retire, he also decided to shut off the news because, that's stressful. Let's not hear it. So he wasn't exactly into the whole why are a lot of people leaving and why are these people who are everybody else who stuck around seem about as equipped as I am. And then,
Why is rent so cheap?
Yeah, why is rent so cheap? Yeah. It was nice.
Since this afternoon. Excellent,
Money
thank
wasn't
you.
so much a problem. But now he finds himself kind of in a problem, which he's going to have to solve or die trying.
Excellent. So you got a nice place in the city at least. Which brings us to, you have been in a couple of these one-shots with us before, but it has been a very long time. So welcome back. Thank you for coming to play with us. Leah Whitewolf is with us this evening, and tell us a little bit about Sight, other than that she can't spell.
She can't spell, unfortunately. She envisions herself as a master hacker. Unfortunately, she's a little bit short of the mark. But, well, she's a brainiac, she thinks. Unfortunately, she has a very injured left arm, so she's a little bit weak in the arm department. So we'll see how she turns out.
sort of 1 for 2 in the arm department, more or less.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's already
Excellent.
Storm, not so good.
All right, so yeah, off to a roaring start. We haven't even had anything happen yet. All right, so let us set this world. You guys are in a cyberpunk world. It is 2077 because it will always be 2077 in cyberpunk worlds for all and forever until about 2076, and then we'll pick a new year. But we're going to get to one ball in a second, but the other two of you, you live in this West Coast metropolis. You are making ends meet-ish with your cybernetic abilities. You, of an afternoon, I guess I should probably explain the rules before we start, shouldn't I? I mean, you guys know them, but the viewer or viewers possibly might not know the rules in this. So what happens is you guys have spent points essentially to do things, and the more points you have spent, the better you will be at doing those things. Once at the end of every little scene, we're going to take points away from you and make you worse, and then you have to keep going until you either run out of worse and end up at dead, or until you get to the goal, which I will explain as well. Now we can get back. That's all the rules you need. It's a Grant Howitt game. It fits on
Perfect.
one side of one page, handwritten, including a bunch of other stuff. So that's the rules.
Pictures.
Including pictures and bad puns. Good puns. Bad puns are good puns. Brick and Sight. The two of you, actually no, Brick, you don't. Let's start over. Sight. You are watching the news because Brick specifically said he doesn't watch the news. You see it first. You hear about this first. There's been an attack. A group of Luddites, conservative people who are against all form of cybernetic enhancement, have taken over the cyberverse, ironically. And they are going to use that power to cause an electromagnetic pulse to creep in and squeeze all the cybernetic people in this city into an ever smaller circle, forcing them to fight for survival. This will be filmed and put on cable TV. Once that's done and they're all dead, the world will be a better place. You see this. You look out the window of your... Where on the sort of financial social scale is Sight at this point? Answer this by telling me. Okay, I was going to say answer this by telling me what sort of window does Sight look out of onto the world? Like basement suite, low apartment, somebody's in a tent in somebody's yard.
Second floor apartment.
Okay, nice. All right. So yeah, you're doing all right.
Basement.
Yeah,
I'm hanging in there.
You're doing all right. There are stairs up to your place. You look out the window. You stay low to avoid the gunfire and the lasers and everything else. And you see at the distance of the city out on the ocean, because you've got an ocean view. It's about that wide between two giant apartment buildings that are 20 stories taller than yours, but you can see the ocean out there. You see a blue shield sort of and start to creep towards the city. As it does, it touches the first of a series of oil tankers, and you see it just and it starts changing directions, and all the lights go out on the boat, and you can now tell it's just drifting aimlessly, having lost all of its power, and you notice as it gets slightly smaller. What do you do?
Okay.
You quickly do some, two more sentences. You quickly do the math. If that's the outside, then the inside's got to be there. And you're thinking in your mind, I know where that is. That's Central Park. And then you remember a magic place, a place that is normally the last place you would find anybody with cybernetic enhancements. There's a restaurant in Central Park called the Faraday Cage that is a Faraday cage. And if you get inside that before this electromagnetic shield shrinks down, you might survive tonight. You also realize that every other trode head in this city knows exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a very prepared person, so I grab my go bag out of the closet
Yep.
And I
And your cyber deck.
I got cyber deck, got all
Yep.
my good equipment, and
Yep.
I just take off out of the house and down the steps and just start running.
As you tear down those steps, I'm watching this in my mind's eye. Your gear, is it like brand new? Is it secondhand? Is it good? Is it bad? Is some of it crap? Is some of it useless? How good are you at your job, and does it show?
I am
We're going to do character development
good.
tonight. I don't know why.
I
Yeah.
think I've got the best hacking gear there is because I've made it.
Oh,
You know, hackers, I put my own
Understand.
hacking gear
He's a
together.
tech,
So
too.
this is the best.
yeah. Gotcha.
Unfortunately, I shorted a little bit, and that's why my left arm's a little bit on the wonky side. I kind of shorted it accidentally, overloaded it because,
Yep.
well, I was trying to get a little extra out of it. Oh well.
So yeah, one of the tiny monitors doesn't quite work like it used to, but yeah, we're good. All right.
What?
Perfect.
But I
So you-
think I've got the absolute best hacking gear. May not be, but I think it is.
Absolutely. So you tear down the steps, you look left and you look right, and there are desperate electro people of every variety running towards the middle of the city. You see one guy who's not running, and you kind of look over, and he's got his pocket knife out, and he's sawing at one finger. And he's not screaming, he's just staring at it and sawing and sawing and sawing, and you hear zzz, pop! And this electric finger falls off and lands on the ground and goes zzz, 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 like an inchworm. And he's like, ah, puts a band-aid over the stump and goes back in the house.
Okay.
That's his one cybernetic piece. Now
This is one cybernetic thing he had, just one finger. So I just cut it off and he's done.
I like that.
and now there's an inchworm finger that, if I remember, will make an appearance later. What do you do?
I
Do you
just
join the
kinda
rush
shake my
towards
head.
town?
I am going to not be in the middle of the alley. I'm going to try and get on the outskirts of the pack and
Absolutely.
go down the alleys.
As you start to make your way towards the center of town, you can't help it. It's starting to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Somebody you hear off to your right, you hear the familiar of somebody cocking a pistol. You turn and they're coming around and they're starting to track you. What do you do?
I am going to try and, well, hack their hand because I'm a hacker.
Well, they have got the thing is how you said the magic word. Their gun is cyberware, the hand holding it is cyberware, and the eye targeting the hand with the gun that's holding it is cyberware.
Smart gun link.
So yeah. Yep.
I know the cyber tech for that.
I'm gonna shadow run this thing. You cyberpunk 2077. I'll shadow run it. We'll meet in the middle. So he's tracking you with that. What specifically do you target?
I'm going to target the arm so I can get him to turn his hand onto himself.
Oh, okay. Give me a hack roll. So in your case, you have spent a considerable number of pointage on hands, right? Yes.
Yes.
The interaction arm, the hacking arm. So you roll 4d6. Oh, did you open up the macros? I didn't tell you to open up the macros. There are 4 macros in this game. I'll talk about them while you know how to open them up. So there's in this game you either do something with 4 dice, 2 dice, or 1 die. And in those moments, you roll those dice, you add them up. If the grand total is over 5, you succeed. If it's 4 or lower,
Okay.
you fail. So anybody that's good at math will realize that rolling 4 dice, and you have to roll under 5 or better, you'd have to roll 4 ones to fail. There you go. I talk long enough. 4. Oh yeah, it's not even close. You hack the hand, it turns. You hack the gun, it turns the because he can't turn his hand the whole way around because it's really hard to do. So the gun barrel actually, the little nanobots inside it rebuild it into a curve. And in fact, the eye in his head pulls itself around until it lines up. He's like, I'm not going to make it. And there's just a spatter of sparks and blood against the wall. Just you're running down the alley. 1 ball. No, not yet. Brick. Rick next.
Mm.
You are not watching the news. You are sitting in your what kind of? I almost said apartment. You tell me what does your abode look like?
It's as much as you'd think retired assassin, definitely think something like nicer. He's actually, if you remember, an old man with an inchworm finger. That is his landlord. He has a room kind of in his basement. The idea of, as long as nobody messes with me, I don't need to do anything.
Yep.
But noticing that
love
he
it.
walked outside for a moment.
And then you hear,
Earl, is something going on?
and then bang! You look out your basement window, and just in time to see the head explode against the wall, the body hit the ground, and everybody running by.
I guess I'll be back tomorrow, Earl. I guess I'm going to work again.
So you turn around and where's your gear in this little, like, you rent a room in a basement? Where is your gear hidden?
His signature gun is kind of on an end table, but it doesn't sit straight because if you remember, his gun is actually 90 degrees to the left.
Yes, it is. Yeah, yep.
So it's one of those, he has it out in the open because he's not expecting anybody to be competent enough to shoot the thing straight.
Yep. I love it. So yeah, you just pick that up and put it in that weird holster, like because the holster has to kind of go down and then back.
I mean, it kind of goes into his leg a little bit, but it,
Yeah,
cybernetics doesn't worry too much.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's a cyber holster. So yeah, RoboCop
his
that
knife,
shit.
he
Let's
has
go.
to, grab from the kitchen.
Yep.
Maybe need to replace the batteries eventually, but
It's
it
in
has
the,
the color
it's in the
rust in
drawer
it,
with
it's
all the other
fine.
knives. There's
Yeah.
like paring knives and teaspoons, and then this bloody great vibrating blade in
Yeah.
the final drawer.
Yeah. Vibrating knife. Yes,
You have
we
to
need it.
recharge it.
Just keep pulling it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's impossibly far too long for the cupboard. Yeah. Yeah, it has to change
Okay.
27D batteries because it's a really old model. It's not an LED blade. And then
Be back tomorrow.
you step up the stairs and outside, and in a moment you realize that everybody that's fleeing is cyberware to some level. You still don't know what's going on, but everybody with cyberware is going that way.
Considering they're all that way.
Yep.
Looking
And there's
the
like
other
guns
direction,
starting to
there's-
get pulled and fists coming out and swords and
So looking down the the road to the left, I'm guessing I see this blue thing that goes from the sky down.
yes, from there you look down the street and it's there's a shop behind my head. It's that, but with this scintillating blue wall coming at you. And as it comes, there's an island out in the bay, and as it crosses it, you watch as building after building after building goes black. Bzz, bzz,
That's not great.
just in case anybody hadn't figured out the letters EMP form and lightning on the shield as it continues to come across.
Guessing that was weird visual cortex bug. It's probably nothing. You know what? I think those people might be going somewhere useful.
So you just
Or,
turn and join
there is-
there. Yeah.
Or I could spend the night at a bar that I haven't been to in some time.
And you watch the wall get
Yeah.
closer.
Okay, I think I probably don't have much time to go.
You might
So
get to a
seeing
bar
the-
downtown if you get there quick.
Oh no!
Hey,
the
the
bar that
Faraday cage is a good bar.
Yeah, the fact that-
Hey.
Yeah, that's where he wants to go because he hasn't been there in years.
Yep. Up the stairs, across the backyard, realizing you forgot to take out the trash, but it's probably not going to matter. Out the back alley and down the alley, join the sort of swarm. Hello, Karina. Welcome to the show. No, correct me. If I'm wrong, correct me. That's the best part about this.
I'm going to do is seeing the group of people and the fact
Yep.
that they're all running for some reason.
Yes.
I look down, it's like, I mean, it's worked once, may as well, work again. So he's going to try to, at the very least, use a burst of his jetpack or his jet boots
Yep.
to kind of catapult himself as far ahead as he can of this whole group of problems.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's some problems.
You hear
I mean,
behind and below
It's
you.
either that or cannon fodder, one of the two.
You hear every bad break. Asshole, dickhead, what a knob. Hey, I can't afford that shit. Take me with you. I put out. Take me with you.
Is that 46?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Well, you tried to fail. That is a grand total of 7 on 4
I told you.
dice.
he hasn't used these things in a while, so
Yeah,
as much
sort
as he goes, what happens is
Yeah.
we talked last time that his boots are actually like push against, so kind of like a helicopter but with gravity. So
Right.
he's actually like just over head height, and he's definitely squishing people. It's not like the
Yeah.
nicest flight he's ever tried to do.
Oh, yeah. And you're just knocking people down. And some of them scream when they get hit and fall down because you hit the fleshy bits. And some of them are just like, that's my arm, asshole. Because you burn all the rubber skin off their fake arm. You know? Yeah, you are leaving a trail of wreckage behind you. People that are not going to make it. You watch as the crowd swells forward, leaving the slow and the soon to be doomed behind you. And you start to make your way towards the center of town.
I knew I should have done
One-
that update last night. Oh well.
One ball. You're lost. Where were you? 2 seconds ago, where were you?
Last thing One Ball knew is One Ball was at the casino watching some guy cheat at cards and was just about to report them to 3 and 7, and then all of a sudden they're on a bus.
They're on a school bus that is hundreds and hundreds of feet in the air, screaming forward on plywood wings, improbably small for the size of the bus, but never mind. The door is open behind you. Those unnecessarily complicated W doors things, yeah, that have since been replaced with far more efficient stuff, but never mind. And you find yourself standing backwards at the top of those 3 steps. In front of you, a human shoves a backpack at you and says, "Hold this."
The 1 turns into an exclamation mark as the guy kicks him out the door.
He shoves it onto your chest and kicks it into you and it go out the door. You look down and it says, "Improbably small backpack." Or sorry, improbably small parachute. Sorry, that joke would have worked much better if I'd gotten the punchline correct. Improbably small parachute is what it says.
So One Ball's still trying to figure all this stuff out because it's analog. And
Yep.
it's like, who the fuck uses analog these days?
Yeah.
And eventually, so, he's working on it, finally has the arms in, except, it's like in his face.
Yep.
And then the scene cuts to brick and sight. And as they sit
Yep.
there, there's a car just a little bit off to the side.
Yeah.
Boom! And then the parachute goes up.
And the airbags.
And the airbags.
And then boom, boom. 3 seconds too late, all the airbags go off. Out of the cloud of talc and 3 more dead bodies.
Yeah.
Climbs One Ball, the android, to join your
Very,
little
very
group.
confused android.
Yes.
Okay.
The 3 of you look around, and the rest of everybody else is starting to bunch up into groups, as people do. You have never met each other, and now probably doesn't seem the time to do a time around of shaking hands and saying hello and sharing family pictures. It might, just be might. I use an extra word in there. It just might be time to run.
I shall run.
I haven't stopped.
I'm like,
One Ball.
One Ball rips the parachute off.
Yep.
Cursing in binary.
I answer in binary. Run!
Yes. Yeah.
Good idea.
And the 3 of you start tearing down the alley. At the end of the alley, I get to do my first roll of the night.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. As you're running down the alley, you burst out into the street as you head towards the center of town, and you're entering into the business area of the city because every city's got one. As you roar through, and you're like running for your lives with thousands of other people, and you burst into manicured corporate gardens. Like there's a hedge maze. And you're like, how to get through the maze? How to get through the maze? But you can't push through the greenery. You try and you can't get through. But you're looking above you, and the plants are all cut into logos. Like the logo of the business is represented everywhere. You burst out into an open area. There's one of those plants made out of clocks, but the clock face is the company logo. and you hear vroom, 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 and out of the air, 3 drones, big, heavy military drones, drift down. Vroom, 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 get off the grass, and the laser cannons start to line up on you. What do you do? Lance is being rude in chat. He's using. Oh no, he's using binary. I was going to say he's using trinary, but it's ones and twos, not zeros and ones. So.
I haven't heard of that in ages.
That's
what this is?
Well, I'm
Yes.
gonna do my thing,
Yep.
and I'm gonna try and hack one of those.
Absolutely.
Things.
So, this is where I like to do the. Everybody, tell me what you're going to do, and then we're going to turn it all into one scene. So you're going to hack a
Yes.
drone.
Yes.
A brick. You were the second on the scene, so you've had a brief moment to think now. Security drones. What are you doing?
I mean, if you want me
Corporate
off the grass
security
so
drones.
badly. You said his knife was a little bit longer and,
Oh, yes.
almost kind of whip-like, right?
Absolutely, it is now. Now it's even
So-
longer and whippier every time you say that.
Oh, cool.
Oh, look, it's
So
a whip.
I'm gonna try to catch one of the propellers of one of the drones and use that to throw myself above and over the maze.
Oh,
Because if they don't want me on the grass, they're gonna help me get out of here.
you're gonna. Oh, gotcha. I got it. Ooh, I like this. You guys are being extraordinarily creative. And one ball.
One ball.
People just
is-
start doing shit. Like there's no plan. There's been no discussion.
I don't know these people.
No,
One ball
nobody's in
used-
charge.
One ball's really used to nonverbal communication. I mean, come on here. Look who his family is.
I
two
know.
of them
I know
speak
most of
by
them, which is
grunt.
really weird.
Two of them speak by grunt. One of them beeps, and one of them doesn't talk at all.
Yes. And the other one's a mercenary pirate.
Yeah.
But he's from a different game. So,
Different
and then
game.
in
That's
that
where he
game,
came
and then in this game, and then in that game again. But what is one ball doing in this game?
One ball is a very observant person. If he's able to figure how to, notice people cheating at cards,
Yep.
he's pretty figured this out. So he's going to use his targeting matrix
Yeah.
to kind of get a 3D layout of the room
Yep.
using different mirrors and cameras and whatever, so that he knows the way through the maze. So while they're distracted, he's going through the maze.
Perfect.
Kind
Okay.
of like leaving a trail as he goes, because it's better to fight with, a full rack than just by yourself.
It certainly is. So I need a hack roll from Sight. I need a fighting roll from Brick, and I need a spotting roll from One Ball. Success, success, success. I mean, extraordinarily successes. So let's start.
61,
Okay.
give me a break.
Yeah, exactly. 56 points in 12 days. Okay, so,
All of our good rolls.
yes, you, Sight. Why do I want to call it? That's a fun name, but not for this character. Sight. You pull out your thing. Boop, 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 boop. Do you? I'm using thumbs. Do you text? How do you hack this thing? Do you use your phone?
Just on the cell phone. Just
Yeah. You got all this gear, and when it's time to actually go to town, you pull out your phone. That's what do you don't let me tell you. What you tell me.
No, I have. It's all computers are mainly in my head, and what I have
Okay.
outside are like little laser things that I can shoot at them, which
Okay.
connects to them. So I'm like,
Oh,
getting
so it's
little
just a
laser
matter of making a
beams.
connection, and then you control them. I love it.
Yeah.
So you're kind of chasing them around, and people are starting to. If anybody was watching, they'd think you weren't very good at this, and then pow, you caught one, and you caught one with another. You got him with 2 beams, and you use it to shoot both of the other ones.
Yes. And then
And
I
then-
bring that one down to me,
Mhm.
and I hop on its back.
Okay, absolutely. So it comes down towards you, but as it comes, you see it takes its 2 laser turrets and turns them towards each other, and you see them vibrating, and then you hacked them so well it blew its own guns off. It's still flying. You can still ride it, but it blew its own guns off. and destroyed the other two. Well, it destroyed one of them. The other one's still hovering because Brick, at this point, you see the one it gets hit and it just it's still flying, but it has lost all of its AI. You reach up with your whip, sword, now a whip, was originally a pocket knife, and whoosh, and you pull yourself, and you wanted to hurl yourself up over the maze, right, and out.
Preferably.
With that roll, you whip yourself up to it, grab it on the way by, and kind of tilt it, and use it as a way to jetpack you over the maze, and you land on the other side of this garden. So you are
Because
out.
of those unreliable rocket boots.
Yeah.
Let's do somebody else.
That's what I'm
And-
like. I want to take me out of this thing.
and one ball, you're scanning for ways out of this maze. You're running versus various other mazes that have been out there. You just about got it all figured out. You're starting to move in that direction. There is the one drone left. It's just sitting there hovering. It's not doing anything, and you just can't help. You rolled so well as you walk by, and you look up, and there's a big red off button on the belly. He's into the dirt, and you just keep walking. And this leaves Sight sort of in the maze, but you could certainly follow One Ball out. There
One
are
Ball
people
was
going
leading it.
every which way in this maze. Like, it's not just you three. There's a lot of people came this way. One Ball, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, One Ball is leaving a little sort of trail, like little
Yeah.
glowing footprints.
I'll follow the glow.
Oh, that's
stupid.
such a good idea. Please follow the gold host footprints to your destination. And you just follow, even if you lose the robot, you just follow his footprints. That's such a good idea.
Follow the glow.
So, yeah,
They live to serve.
there are other people like looking at the feet and following after you. And that there are, everywhere you go, there are people going in every direction in this maze. That, as you burst out the other side of the maze, out of the corporate gardens and having defeated the drones, is the end of the first scene. So everybody now gets to roll the macro that says lose 1d6 cyber points.
Is it 4 or 6 for the first scene?
The first 3 are 6, the final one is 4.
Oh, okay.
So that's a good roll. It's one average roll, one good roll, and one very bad roll. Well, not really bad. So One Ball, take 5 X's off of your sheet. Brick takes 1 and Sight takes 4. You have to take them from the top down.
Okay.
So while they're walking through, One Ball drops his sidearm.
Just
Loses it.
The hand and all.
Loses
Actually, as you let's give a reason for this to happen. You the three of you come out of that side of the corporate gardens, and as you step out into the street, a power station miles away is hit by the electromagnetic pulse wall, and a pulse is sent through the city before it goes dark around you. Unfortunately, that pulse was an electromagnetic pulse. It was a very low level, so it only took some of your stuff. And then
My
the
left
city
arm's
is
gone.
now
No.
absolutely black. Yeah, the city around you is now absolutely black. So, just to tie this up, did anybody lose a level of something? Where you
That's
were
what I mean
rolling
about the
4,
joke
now
about
you're
his
rolling
gun
2?
not working.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
And-
my
yeah.
Well, I'm rolling.
arm
Yeah.
and my head. I went from
Okay. Yeah.
but I still can hack just fine.
Well, here's the horrible, all the horrible things I've read in the past. I immediately went, oh, defensive wound. So yeah, your eye goes and your arm starts to not work very well anymore.
Yeah.
Brick, there's an itch in one of your functions. you hit back up and it immediately you turn your arm off and turn it back on again and it's fine. And you continue forth into the darkness. The next things that you come across Oh, yes, of course. Anywhere where there's business, there's obviously automated factories right next to them because that makes perfect sense. But as you proceed away from the corporate district into
Short
the
supply
automated
chain.
factory district, you hear the horrible sound in the distance of jet bikes. You look around. Why not? People dressed in archaic space costumes with masks covering the lower part of their face, the top part of their face being an odd green color with no hair. And they have theme music that I don't have out me at the moment. But they're all absolutely identical, riding absolutely identical motorbikes, and three of them block the alley between you and where you're going. As those around you stop for a moment to gather yourselves, those around you sort of rush past out into the open area, and the jet bike bounty hunters just open up on them with handheld Gatling guns, just taking out dozens at a time. What do you do? Let's do them in the opposite order this time. One ball.
If only we had a over enthusiastic sports ball player.
There will be no joy for you tonight.
Yeah, no joy.
Not only a reference, but also a song quote from no less than Pink Floyd. Thank you. I almost knocked my glasses off in joy. Ooh. Okay, go. Back to this game.
All right. One ball's gonna turn on the gas, and he's gonna try and sprint past them.
Okay.
Because as a robot, one ball does not have limits. They're
Nope.
structural limits, not personal fatigue limits.
Yeah, exactly. So
Able
you
to
just
0 to 60, like
the gold footprints start to have little gold flames coming off of them. Like a very expensive flash running across the field.
exactly.
You sprint past the bounty hunters. I said the opposite order. So, Brick, what are you doing? Everybody around
Brick's
you,
still
you
in
look
the
around, and everybody with cyberware starting to look like they're slowing down, and their arms aren't working, and they're dropping weapons, and their eyes are popping out.
Yeah, you get used to it.
First time.
You got one baby finger
First
that
time.
doesn't work anymore. That's all that happened.
A little bit of mind twitch. It's not too much to worry about. So what he's gonna do
It's annoying when your mind twitches anyway. So
is
Brick.
he's gonna kind of take a moment, take a rest at the wall.
Yeah.
But what he's actually doing is lining up a shot to hit one of the battery packs of the light cycles that are there, because they are clearly, electric.
Oh,
of some
yes.
type.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, it would be unethical to have a gas powered vehicle in 2077. I mean, shooting people in the streets for money is fine, but come on. You got to have your carbon footprint down, right?
Argues and chew too. I'm just gonna say that.
Yes,
Cyberpunk, they all use a sort of methane, like a super methane.
a lot. Yeah,
So
they do
there's
super
There's
compressed. So
almost no electric vehicles at all.
either way, there's going to be one hell of an explosion in a second, which leaves us with Sight. What are you doing at this particular moment to get past the jet bikelists?
I'm going to hack one of the bikes and
Okay.
ram it into the others.
I sense a theme. I like the way you work. It's just like
Road rash.
hack it, run it into everything else. Hack it, run it into everything else. we're going to
And
the.
just keep running.
I'm getting a cappuccino at the end of this, and everybody's and nobody's. Oh, wait a minute. There's been some fails. Hang on. Brick.
I don't think anybody's gone.
Oh
under
no,
a
no,
five.
there hasn't. No,
Yeah,
not
we
yet.
haven't-
Sorry,
we haven't
I was
yet.
thinking of those low rolls, but those were taking points up. So
Those are
yeah,
points.
no fails yet.
Okay.
We're just going to keep doing sessions until you guys start to fail. So with that, I need a go fast roll from One Ball. I need a shoot stuff roll from Brick, and I need a hack from Sight. Just barely, but yes, you across the park. You see the three bikes start to close together, like they're just sort of getting. And you're thinking, like, remember Red Rover? I bet you they don't play that anymore, right? It's too violent. You're like looking for the two weak kids to try and find the arms that you're going to go through, right? But it's down to that. Like your hope is starting to dwindle. Then a shot rings out, and the bike on the left just and just bursts first into a spark as the carbon fiber starts to burn just from the heat of the attack. And then you see the guy driving it look down and start going like he's trying to pat out the fire as it's getting closer to this tank that's on his back. And because pressurized methane is a thing, the last thing he says is, "Oh, fuck." And to save the other two for the other two, the explosion goes straight up. It's channeled by the carbon fiber chassis of the bike. And he leans forward and goes, "Oh, fuck," and then ceases to exist from here up. Just boom, big methane flame shoots up, and the whole street smells like a fart. Through the odor, you can still see, and you start hacking again, and you hack into the one of the two bikes that's left, and they start you again. You rolled really well, so they start doing bumper, like the bikes start playing bumper cars without the advice or input of the people riding them. So it's, "Ow, my leg, ow, oh, damn it, no, go this way, no, don't, stop doing that, stop, and then bang, 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 bang,
Before that
running
happens,
into each other. Yep,
Before that happens, one ball like sort of kind of hurdles over the exploding bike,
yep.
and the one on its face changes to, "You guys are fucked."
And you
You just see that as he just sort of slow mode jumps over them.
Yeah,
You guys
absolutely.
are fucked.
And you smash down behind them in the distance. The other two of you, the other people around you, see that the guards are dropping and they start to flee across the field. What do you do, the two of you? Going with?
Oh, we're
I'll
going.
join at this point.
Okay. So you sort of,
Not one of them, but
both of you give me a move.
Oh,
A go fast roll, as I decided to call them before. That's a go fast.
they slightly.
That is also
they're
a go
getting
fast.
better.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, there's a you got the boots, right?
yeah, technically
Right?
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and then it goes, and it's just you.
So it ignites the methane.
Yes, but yeah, actually the methane explosion kind of cleared out the pipes. What comes flying out of there is the remains.
Remains of the guy.
I'm gonna be polite and say your laundry. You hung it on your jetpack once to dry, and it kind of got sucked up inside during maintenance. So yeah, there's bits of your laundry flying out the back. The first thing that came to mind was just a pet, but I resisted the urge to say that the burned and I'm going to say it now. The burned and shattered remains of your favorite pet burst out of the back of the. Bugger it, I'm saying it anyway. Burst out of the back of the jetpack boots. You go, "Oh, that's where they've been for the last 6 months. But hey, I can fly now," and you fly away. I am such
Fluffy,
a.
no.
There's no, you know what? I tried to filter it, and I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. So it's Friday.
Go for it.
Everybody knows this is 18 plus, and if they didn't before, they do now. So yes, bits of fluffy, a carbonized fluffy, spray down over the crowd as you finally start to gain some altitude. Sight. It smells like dead pet and ass in here. What are you doing?
I'm pinching my nose and
A
Charging
bunch of people are
across
happy the fact that their noses stopped working after the last one.
down
I
through
I
the-
wish
yeah.
mine had. But it has
There are people gagging. There are people choking. There are people turning around. No, I'll take my chances with the blue wall. I'm going back. Speaking of which, the blue wall gets much closer. More of the city in front of you blacks out. And as you
It wasn't
step
worth
through
it. I'd rather die.
just because successes are no fun, we're going to call out another scene. Lose 6 more points.
no.
We're just going to go through these fast and faster and faster until we get to the point where people start to
Dang
fail. There we go. 4, 4, and 5. Take some X's off. Now we're going to get some failures.
Yes.
As you finish taking off your 4, 4, and 5, tell us what happened. Give us a visual of you coming apart at the seams. While you do that, I'll start with the people around you. It's getting bad. Some of the lesser functioning ones are starting to explode. Arms are going mad, and you know that they don't hit yourself. They're doing that, but it's they're their strong cyber arm that's doing the slapping and their weak human arm that's trying to stop them. They do it the pokey, yeah, everything you can imagine. The feet are kicking owners in their own ass. It is getting really bad. They're getting to the point where they're starting to drop, and if they're not actually dying, they're certainly not able to get closer to the middle of the city, and this wall is going to catch them. You hear in the sudden silence behind you, at first it sounds like a huge bug zapper. Zzz, zzz, zzz. One long one. Think, wow, what was that? It's the wall. And this is as it gets to people with cyberware. It's them literally shorting to death in a shower of blue sparks.
That's a shitty way to go.
The three of you turn towards the middle of the city, perhaps more inspired than ever before to F the LEE out of here. So what do you do? You're heading towards the middle of town.
Yes.
There's
Running.
less of you. Yep. There's less of you every time.
Mhm.
Oh. I said it was a Pacific metropolis. You finally get to the docks because that's where you put
That
Central
makes sense.
Park. Apparently not in central area anywhere. So you put it down by the docks.
Center of the bay.
But yeah, oh, there it is. It's out in the bay. Thank you. That's perfect. Thank you. You're gonna now you got to cross a bridge. You just did that to yourself. Thank you. You got get to the dock district because every one of these is in a different district. You burst into the dock district. A sign says the dock district. They're all only 1 block long. Strangely enough, it's really odd. But anyway. Docks off to your right, dock hands and persons over there, many of them fleeing because they are cybernetically enhanced to replace the equipment that otherwise would have replaced them. So they're just now getting, they've been working up to now because they've been on double time and a half because emergency days are double time and a half. So they're working till the last possible second before they flee. They got to get it to the and punch out and then run, but that's their plan. You guys see, actually you don't see. Each of you make a, how do we do this?
Gonna make us use our senses?
Actually, we will. Let's do, everybody give me a spotting. Give me a head roll. As you feel yourselves start to freeze up.
Okay, fine. Guess his eyes work better anyway.
So that was your 6 brick?
Yeah.
So you're fine. Yeah, you see it. Sight, you rolled a 4. That is a fail. So you add 1 stress. So take one of those X's there and put it up on the stress line. 9 more and you're dead. So you're probably fine. You do not see this. 1 ball, also a fail. So add a stress. You already did. The only one that sees this is Brick. That makes sense because you've hardly been, compared to the others, you haven't really been affected that much.
Also
You
been
look
it
up
before.
and yes, in one of the towers, one of the cranes that lifts stuff, the cargo off the ships, one of them has 3 people in it, not 1. And they're kind of, how they got that forward-leaning glass? They're all laying on the glass, and you see the blue glow of screens. They've all got screens open, and they're madly typing. There are 3 combat hackers in that tower trying to shut the 3 of you down. What do you do? All 3 of you are feeling like all your part. They're not breaking. They're just getting slower.
Okay.
All is not.
I mean, if they're on a crate,
your
that's their
ping is
mistake.
your ping is going up dramatically between you and your arm.
What's up, Doc?
Yeah.
Hey, is the boat that we cored in System Shutdown 2 still there?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
That was
yes,
the one that
there's a boat
scarred
right
through a
there.
hole in because his
Yep.
finger gun kept pulling back.
Get bigger,
Yep.
bigger, bigger, bigger.
Yep, somebody's fixed it, and yes, the boat from a previous episode is parked at this fishing docks. Absolutely, yes. It's over there, so you can start to move towards the boat. Is that the plan?
For 1 ball, maybe.
For 1 ball, yeah.
Well, it was just more of a because 1 ball would know it because 1 ball would share memories with Bones.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. I don't even care if
So,
1 ball didn't
there's
know it.
just sort
There's
of
a
a,
boat over there that
hey.
says, a boat you could take.
A boat you could take.
That's what its name is. It's a way to try. They're trying to not get it stolen. No, it's called Go Ahead, Take It.
Go ahead, take it.
Yeah. Oh, bait boat. Oh, multiple meaning. It took me 3 tries to get to the joke. Bait boat. Yeah. Like a bait car, but on a boat.
Totally legit fishing company.
So, what with that information, what is let's do it in this order this time. The only person who hasn't gone first yet. Brick, what are you doing?
Brick, seeing them up on a crane,
Yep.
is basically going
makes
to
sense.
look at that and go, your funeral. And he's going to romp and he's going to, you know how it's usually like a triangular support that goes up?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's going to damage the one that goes over the bay enough that it's just going to knock over the crane.
Absolutely, yep. Okay, so
He
you
does
are
things the
going
old-fashioned way, and they're trying to be clever.
attack the crane. Gotcha.
If your
Sight.
force isn't working, you're not using enough.
You see him. You see Brick pull out his whip sword axe.
No, he's just going to run up and kick it.
Oh, okay. Pardon me.
Just
You see him
boot it.
sheath his whip sword axe thing in a weird way because it's a whip a second ago, and now he sheaths it like a sword. It's a little flexible, and he runs over and just starts kicking this metal post, and it's this dunk 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 dunk, and you can see what he's doing. He's and it's working. It looks like it's probably going to work.
It starts
So it
shaking
looks-
like motherfuckers up there.
Up on the top, they're getting a little
And at the
nervous,
top, they're
probably.
all going inside the glass bubble. Their laptops flapping in the wind.
I can
Well-
hear the Looney Tunes sound effect in my head.
Yeah, that's the one that's going for me. as soon as you catch your breath, what is Sight gonna do?
Well,
They're still hacking you. Yeah.
they're still trying to hack me, so I'm
Yep.
going to counter hack them.
All right. What are you going to hack? They've each got a laptop. The crane itself is cybernetic. I mean, I don't want to put. Well, yes, I do. I want to put thoughts in your head. The entire dock region is one big computer network.
It is. And I'm going to actually hack the crane to spin like a top.
As it's being kicked from the bottom, so it's constantly
it's
changing
being-
center mass.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
braced the
one
bottom of
ball.
this. It might just take off like a helicopter into the force field.
One ball.
Ooh, I like that.
What are you doing?
Um,
You see, this is going on.
One ball's used to working behind the scenes, like a lot
Yep.
of the balls. So there's a joke there.
Yep.
And so he is going to. He's not going to go to the totally legit fishing company,
Yes.
but he's going to. Well, he might not even read it. He's going to pick a boat
Okay.
and hack it to give us something to get to the island, as opposed to heading to that obvious trap kill bridge.
All right.
I hope this works.
Hack boat. Okay. Whether you succeed or not depends on whether I tell you the name of the boat. Let's do the attack the crane first. So, Brick, you just start
You want legs for that, I'm assuming?
the steel-toed
thinking
boots.
legs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you are. This is your. I know it's technically attack, but no, you are.
Oh, no.
This
The
piston
jetpack
legging
kicks
this
off
thing.
one last time.
Ooh, wow. That works. That works. Okay, and then from one ball, I need a hack as well. Oh wow, everything worked. Okay,
Wow.
perfect. You guys are about to do that. This is beautiful. You boot one last time, and you see a stamp as it breaks. You see a stamp on the back of the metal. It says "Lowest Bid Contracting." You thought this was a little easy, and the cheap metal crane just snaps, and all those little ziggy-zaggy things that go all the way up between the 3 legs, you watch them undo like a zipper. It's just round and around all the way up. And at that moment, you think, this thing cannot possibly stand anymore. The crane arm starts to swing, and it's got a container out on the end of it. And it starts to swing, and it just... and the whole bar is doing this, and then it's all swinging out from the end of that. You just hear puking sounds from up in the crane itself. Oh, not my laptop. Oh, it's everywhere.
It'll land in a
And Brick, because you're standing right there, the two remaining bits of this tower are starting to get red hot. They're starting to melt.
I probably shouldn't be standing here.
Slowly stepping over.
One ball. You pick a boat completely at random. A fishing boat, as it turns out. A shrimping boat, as it turns out. You step on board and hack the boat, and it comes up. The screen pops open, and it says, "Welcome to Bubba Bones Fishing." And a very familiar skull pops up on the screen. You know better. You know that this boat's way faster than it looks, and probably full of drugs.
Probably full of drugs.
This is Bones. If the name on the side of the boat wasn't Bubba Bones Fishing, it would be Bubba Bones Import Export. But yeah,
Drugs,
it
guns.
fires up.
Body of the famous rocker boy.
It's just, which is weird because it's electric. But he's got a shaker built into it because it's Bones, right? There's also a shifter inside to put it into gear. There's a shifter, and it's a miniature of his head, complete with the crossbones over his golden mask. So, yeah. So yes, the ship is yours. Sight.
When he hits the horn, it's a pirate tune.
Arr! Arr! And steam shoots out the top for no reason whatsoever. Sight, you see this odd robot on the boat. The boat is already straining against the ropes, heading towards the island that the Faraday cage is on. What do?
I'm going to run and jump on the boat.
So, leap. Give me a move.
Oh. I barely make it. Maybe.
Oh, you read? Oh, that was a 7. Okay, yeah, absolutely. You leap onto the boat. You land on the boat, and as you do, you sort of poof on the deck, and this white powder comes up from between the boards on the deck, and some of it gets up to your face, and you kind of, ooh, you could run for days.
Yeah.
You are successfully on the boat. Brick, what are you doing?
Oh, I'll try a running leap onto the boat as well. He's going to try again with the flight unit, although for some reason he should know at this point it doesn't work.
Yeah. So, yeah, you crouch down and the boots go and nothing. So you just start to run. That brief moment in time that you took to take that time, you can hear the metal behind you gives. And suddenly you're in slow motion. It's like, oh shit, it's that part of the movie. And you
and behind I'm running same direction as the really tiny thing that could step to the side, but no.
Absolutely. And the camera's out over the water, and it's got there's the boat in the front with one ball standing at the wheel and his hand on his own head, which is kind of weird, skidding into the back of the boat and smiling broadly for no good reason apparently is Sight, who looks like she just woke up and had a cappuccino. And then you running in slow motion towards that boat, and behind you the final 2 metal bars give way, and this thing starts to fall towards you, and it's going to hit. There is no question as it continues to unzip those little bars. Ping, 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 ping. You can feel them raining down on your back. One stanchion goes here, whang! The other one goes here, whang! The boat is right in the middle, and every other part of that crane hits the water, and it's just, and then the water comes back and fills the void, and then the wave, and you are now running towards a boat which is lifting on a mini tsunami. It's 8 feet above you in the dock by the time you get there. Give me another move. To get up
sounds
on the
like a
back
revving Camaro for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There you go.
You leap forward. Take a stress.
Yep, out of stress. Can I use as a, I guess, reaction to a degree, attempt to use my whip to get myself onto the boat as a recovery?
Absolutely. Yep. Take the stress, and then as you land back on the dock, you look up. Oh, damn! You pull out your sword, your swip. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
swip.
Swip.
Yeah, it's a swip now. So yeah,
No.
that hooks onto the back of the boat as it's lifted straight up out of the water. But the prop starts to come up towards it like it's going to cut it. Give me a movement again as you try and climb your flip. What did we call it? Swip. That was it. Climb your swip. A 6. You do. You cut your hands and lacerate because parts of this are still a knife. But just ow, 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 ow. Up the whip, past the propeller of the boat, which weirdly enough has got pirate imagery carved into it. Like, why would you do that? It looks like scrimshaw on the metal blades. Why is it metal blades? Why isn't it a propulsor? This thing's old fashioned. Why does it sound like an 80s car? Over the back, into the back. You land, another larger cloud of white dust rises up and settles all over you. Sight starts to giggle. You feel like you could dance. What do? One ball seems completely unaffected.
One ball's running a chemical analysis through the filters, so he knows who to sell it to.
Yes, yeah.
Again.
And mathematically, just for fun, give me a spotting, please. One ball. Yeah, you can tell by the way the ship is lifting from the docks. She's like, oh wow, it's like half a ton down there. Oh my! And it starts to settle back down, and you hear poof behind you, and you're looking. That other the big quiet one just fell into the back of the boat along with
a little bit less than half a ton now.
Yeah. Yes. No. Slightly now less. Yeah. Slightly less than half a ton now. The boat slams down into the water. You punch yourself in the face and push the throttle forward. The boat shifts gears going across the lake. Across the lake towards the island.
Skipping like a wood ship across the water. It's a shrimping boat.
And it's like a shrimping boat. It's got the 2 big arms out the side. It's all lit up, but it's still across the ocean towards this artificial man-made island in the middle of the bay, just like one I partied on a number of years ago in Vancouver. And you are heading directly towards this island. That's another scene. This is the last scene. Everybody remove 1d4 cyber points, and we will get
Finally
to the
got a 1.
final.
Oh,
1, 2, and 4. Oh my goodness.
it's my third 4. Oh,
You're consistent anyway.
I am. Well, my left arm just fell off.
All around you, cyber people are trying to swim out to the island, and they're shorting out. Their systems are burning up. Their own weight of their metal wares are pulling them to the bottom of the ocean. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Don't think I haven't forgot about you. Boom, boom. It does a couple more. It's only just where you were. It's right there on the side of the water. You look up, and between you and the Faraday cage, celebrity contract killers on a bullet train.
Okay.
A bullet train
for them in the 90s.
This is a 1-round conflict because they are passing you at 300 miles an hour on a monorail track. As they do, for some reason you still feel an overwhelming need to stop them, or you can't get to the. Oh, it's going towards the Faraday cage. There it is. Yes, they're approaching at 300 kilometers an hour. If they get to the Faraday cage before you, there's no way you'll get in. That's a better story. What do you do?
There's too many of them. I'm going to use my enhanced senses to try and give a better angle of shot for Brick and Sight.
Okay.
For whatever they're about to do.
Enhance the others. Okay. Perfect.
And I'm going to hack the train and put it into reverse.
Hack the train. Oh, from 300K. Ooh.
Those are deep.
That's not going to happen.
I don't even want to think about.
Brick.
No
Math
repercussion
later.
That's a 600 kilometer an hour change in a matter of seconds because it's a magnetic train. That's a lot of. How many G's is that? Many.
That's a lot of jam.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's no G's. You don't want to know the G's.
No, it's an
No,
OGs.
It's an OGs, as in OGs don't open that. Yeah, yeah. Brick, what are you doing?
Seeing as there is one more turn to go,
Yep.
and you really want all your track being there when you're on a bullet train going 300
Yes, you
kilometers an
do.
hour.
Yep.
It would be a problem if somebody were to shoot out half of it, or part of a turn.
Attack the track.
Yeah. No.
Nick the brick, attack the track. It's all very rhymey.
It's very much. There's a simple solution. He will take that simple solution.
So we got to do this we have to do this in a specific order. One ball. I need you to spot to give them advantage, essentially. An 8 does it. You see two things. You see on the train a large red button that says reverse. You track down and look at the pillars holding the track, and there's a big sign, do not hit here. You go and point at these two signs, thus assisting both of them.
Little laser pointers.
Yeah.
Each finger.
So, next is... Oh, we got to do this in the right order. Brick. I need you see the thing. How many dice would you normally be rolling with to attack right now?
4.
Still with 4? Okay. Roll with 4, and if necessary, roll 2 more, because you've been given sort of a boost on this.
Eh.
So 10, that's plenty. 18 altogether. Let's give you the whole 18. Yeah. You just and as soon as he points them out, you see they're on all the towers? Oh, well, hell yes. How do you get rid of them?
All the towers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by appearing to be aiming for the one that he's pointing at.
Yep.
And actually shoot the one that's 90 left.
Yep.
Yeah, and then kind of start doing my circle.
Yeah.
So he looks over at me like, what? You shot the wrong one.
I forgot all about this gun. You're aiming at the crowd, like directly at the crowd. Bam! Something over here goes down. Bam! Something over there goes down. And you just start shooting them one at a time. Well, the last few cyberpunks are drowning themselves to avoid you shooting them in the heads as you point the gun at them as they swim across the ocean. They all drop. This train is
Red
still in the air, still doing 300 kilometers an hour, but it's not on a track anymore. It's just flying. Sight. Give me the roll. Give me the roll. You also get 2 extra dice. So what is your normal hack roll right now? What would it be?
It would be 2 right now. But
Okay, so roll
it's a
4.
4.
Yep.
I did. And almost perfect.
Okay, wow. She hacked the train so well, it just went up.
That is so close to a perfect hack. You shoot the button like right in the V where it says reverse. That drives it into the train, and not only reverses the train in that direction, but also in that direction, that direction, that direction, that direction. One car off each part of this train just goes 90 degrees to each other. Just and there's just rail cars everywhere. Each one of them has this person in the window flying past you with their weapons drawn, going, I never even got to shoot. And explosive methane-powered exploding trains all around you. The island is now awash with methane flame, which isn't that spectacular. Actually, it's kind of just pale blue and kind of goes, doesn't even make much noise. But you walk through that trying to be as heroic as possible as you walk to the Faraday cage, which has to be lit because it has to have its own generator inside the cage, because otherwise the wireless energy sources of 2077 would never have been able to make anything run inside. The three of you step through the door, and while your stuff ceases to be, you fall to the ground. All of your gear stops as you stepped into the Faraday cage, because as we established in the previous game, it's all cloud driven. And you turn around and look out the door.
One ball would just
Yeah, just big crack.
stiff.
But
stiff
it's a
arms.
crack. It's a pool ball crack. You can see it, but even if you ran your finger over it, there's no sensation of a crack there at all. But you can see it. The door of the Faraday cage closes as if of its own accord, and a little old wizened man wheels out of the back in an old school physical wheelchair that he's only got one hand that he can run. The door closes on a spring. Click. Tunk. 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 You hear the last scream outside. The last few cyberpunks die. You hear. You look out through the windows and watch the blue screen, the blue dome fade away to nothing.
Blue screen.
All your stuff comes back. Oh, absolutely. All your stuff comes back now. You're all powered up again. The little old man sitting in his wheelchair says, "Oh, good, I had enough of that shit," and stands up, and every bit of him, except for one little string of muscles, 2 fingers, and a face, everything else is cyberware. I hate it when they pull that shit. You guys want a drink?
Yes.
One ball's from the floor, just thumbs up.
Yeah.
Hasn't quite gotten the rest of it like booted
Yeah.
up yet. Just the arm
Yeah.
works. Yes, I'll have some.
And with that, the three of you and this
I
unknown
sniffed my
barman.
hand a little.
Yeah.
It's got that white on it.
He pulls out from behind the counter. He says, they made me turn it into a coffee bar, but I got better than that. He just starts putting bottles on the counter. There's scotch, there's wine, there's good rye, there's vodka. There's sides 24 a beer up there. I'd ask if you wanted any, but you look over, and all three of you are just covered in white powder.
We're good.
And the 4 of you party the night away, quite possibly the last 4 cybernauts in the entire metropolis. Boy, are these fuckers in for a surprise tomorrow morning.
I still have a landlord.
And with that, we will drop the curtain on to an hour and 15 minutes. Really? That's all? Holy shit! We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scenes. Oh, holy shit!
And you
Okay,
didn't kill it.
It feels
nobody
longer.
died. I know. You got a
got
little
closer
wounded
last
here and there,
time.
but yeah, you did. But
Guess
that's
we're
okay.
also not really doing the rules right, but whatever.
We weren't last time, no, but we were this time. But I need some water. Holy cow! That was a blast. I enjoyed that. The more fast-paced you play that, the better that gets. I think we have learned every time we play this. So, holy smokes. That was the game. These are the people. The people. Wow. Bison, thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find you when you're not here? Where do you're doing some streaming yourself now? Plus Respawn, right?
Yeah, I do play SnowRunner with Respawn every once in a while. That's kind of spontaneous, but usually Monday or Tuesday nights. You can find me on Twitter at Tricenbacks. Give me 1 sec, I'll throw that thing there.
Please do.
That
While
is
you
my
do that,
Twitter.
yeah, there you go.
I generally just sort of retweet funny things and occasionally say stupid shit myself. I am gonna thinking maybe actually doing this for real is playing BattleTech on stream. Monday nights, probably, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock. Play for a couple hours and go through the career mode.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing that. I played that game myself, many, many hours. Great fun. I finished 1 actual campaign mode. Like the 12, you got 1,200 days?
Yeah.
I lived 1,200 days. I shouldn't say I finished it. I lived 1,200 days. I did not
Survived
finish. Yeah, I did not finish all the missions by any stretch of the imagination. But yes, looking forward to that. It's a great game. I enjoy it a lot. There's not enough good turn-based stuff out there anymore.
No, there really isn't.
Yeah. And for those of us who are a little slower and like to think a little more methodically, it's nice to be able to take that moment to think.
Hmm.
Especially with a game as complicated as BattleTech. Next in line, thank you so much for coming tonight, Bison. I appreciate it every time. Next in line, the ever solid Brick. Played by Nick. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. You are running a game that I have a personal interest in. I'm not in it, but I do have a personal interest in it. Why don't you tell us about that one?
So I picked up a Dungeons and Dragons 5e game that Kevin was running last year for kind of an introduction to kind of tabletop role-playing games. But due to things, they all kind of went on a hiatus for a few, or I think it's like 2 months, something like that, before I picked up as the new Dungeon Master. So we were originally doing Sundays. We were not Sundays. We were originally running Saturdays, and now we're doing Wednesday bi-weekly, which is working a lot better for a lot of scheduling.
Perfect.
But also it's meant that I can do a bit more writing for some of the background stuff.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get 3 done, and I wasn't expecting one of the background scenes to end up like 3 pages. That happens sometimes. But
I used to be famous for handing in 9-page backstories and going, "You're okay with that, right? I expect to see it all."
Did that to you?
Yeah. No, I love them. That is just grist for my mill. The more you give me, the more I have to grind you with. So but thank you for playing tonight, and thank you. I don't know if I've ever said this. Thank you for taking over that game. I really, really appreciate it. I'm so happy those people get to continue to learn and enjoy how to play this game, and I know they're in good hands. So thank you very much for that. And that brings us to our rare guest, a rare bird indeed, because you were a bird in one of these, I think. Leah,
Yes!
White Wolf, yes, yeah. Thank you so much for joining the mayhem tonight. Thank you for being a cyberpunk. You do other games too when you're not here. Tell us about
Yes,
those.
I do. I have a Saturday D&D game and a Tuesday D&D game that I participate in, and our Saturday game is a world building one, so it's free for all. So we all
Nice.
get to put in a little bit, and we're making a world. So
Oh, nice.
it's a lot of fun.
Oh, I love it. As you may have noticed, I'm real big on cooperative storytelling. That may have snuck through from time to time in this channel. I love it. I want 4 brains is better than 1, right? Let's build a big story together and look at what we did tonight. That was of actual game time. That was just over an hour. And what a story it was. So thank all of you for joining me for that. Thank you to the people that are in Twitch. I don't usually toot my own horn, but you got a good one tonight. That was something special. Thank you so much for hanging in there and watching. Join us over on Discord. It's the easiest way to find us all. If you missed this one or any of the other ones, go check us out on YouTube, Dirty 20 Gaming on YouTube. It's all there within 3 or 4 days of being here. And speaking of YouTube, thank you to all the future people who don't exist yet who will be watching this on YouTube. Thank you to them too. And with that, until next time, as always, please be nice to each other. Good night.
Bye.
Night.